What just happened?
Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here, back on the suffocation pit. We have a very early down here on the top side of the map here. Also, very, very early tag here coming out to freeze 1 HP. Serenity already hooked, a Pain Resonance hook as well. Not a Pain Resonance hook, actually, because of how early the down actually was here. Gonna be unhooking very, very early here, wanting to get Serenity away from the top side of the map as quickly as possible, is Team Nightowls. And I actually failed to mention this earlier, but it is Nightowls versus Sinners here. Sinners here on the killer side. Nightowls fast. Serenity winner edit and freeze 1 HP here. Serenity now heading over to the 5 side of the map here. Has a pretty decent tile here to play. Just dropping the pallet, making sure we're lasting as long as possible here. Kicking it now. Making sure that we are lasting as long as possible. But it doesn't look like there's anything more that Serenity's going to be able to do here and is just going to be dying. Jason going to be taking his second hook of the trial. No generators to be seen just as yet here. No, we're actually having a bit of progress here from the side of Nightowls here. So beautiful, beautiful progress. So Pain Resonance coming through here. Going to be stopping any sort of progress from coming through whatsoever, which is very, very good here if you are the Deathslinger. Checking the mid tile to see if we cannot find anyone lurking for a safer. Freeze 1 HP still injured. We have to be very, very careful here. We don't want to give away a very early down here, as that will be some very good pressure here for Jason and Sinners. This is still a very, very good start to a game for Jason here, as we are seeing an unhook onto Serenity. Now Serenity now trying to make it to the top side of the map. Fast probably going to be playing to help Serenity make sure that she dies where she needs to die. These generators need to pop, and they need to pop very, very fast here. But it does look like we will be seeing a pop very, very, very soon here. Yeah, main is actually going to be popping. So beautiful, beautiful stuff here from Team Nightowls to ensure this pop here. Jason now has a little bit to play for here. Fast going to be dropping that pallet, making sure that he doesn't go down too very, very quickly here, making sure that Serenity has something to play. Now Fast going to be helping Serenity at the main building. No, it doesn't look like a shot will happen here. Beautiful stuff from Serenity. Serenity lasting as long as she possibly can here. Has to make sure not getting mind gamed by this Deathslinger. Has to be careful at this tile. Has to vault over it. Ooh, winning the 50-50. Beautiful stuff here from Serenity. Serenity now going to be able to make it to the main building here. And it's up to Fast to be able to help out Serenity. Beautiful stuff here from Fast, helping out Serenity, making that window. Not able to get the down onto Serenity. However, Jason ping is gonna mean a shot onto Serenity. Beautiful stuff here. Oh, but the break of the chain. Oh, but it's not gonna mean much, unfortunately, for Serenity. Serenity is gonna be going down here. Freeze 1 HP, about to pop another generator. Gonna pop it just after this hook is gonna be coming in. So that is a ton lot with 2 generators remaining. Like, beautiful, beautiful stuff here if you are Jason. And that is a death at 2 gens remaining. Winner edit working a bottom generator. Fast also working a generator probably on the top side of the map here. Wants to get a little bit of progress done. 3 gonna be popping. Winner edit, freeze 1 HP and Fast. They probably gonna be wanting to play for resets here. Deathslinger can be very, very, very dangerous if you are not careful. We are seeing bottom generators being worked here. Pop goes the Weasel to be applying. That is a lot of progress. That was the most, I think that was the most progress actually on the map that they had. Winner edit. So, ooh, not getting that shot. Oh, amazing stuff. Amazing try from Jason, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen. Winner edit playing this tile very, very well. Just needs to last for the resets to come in, and the reset is going to be coming in. That's 1 reset. However, the call was made that toting top side, so freeze 1 HP not able to get the reset. Winner edit back on the generator, just needs to pressure it as much as possible here. Fast going to be stealthing, doesn't want to get found here. Jason going to be looking for Freeze 1 HP. However, Freeze is just going to be sending it to the top side of the map here in main building. Beautiful stuff from Freeze 1 HP, avoiding the down at the hands of the Deathslinger early on here. Playing main building. He's actually seeing the Deathslinger main building. But unfortunately, a beautiful shot from Jason will mean a down onto Freeze 1 HP. And that is a pain resonance as well. Winner Edit's not going to be able to quite pop that generator. Reloading the gun, making sure that we are prepared for any savior that could be around here. It looks like Jason wants to hold his 3-gen at the top side of the map, just because it doesn't look like he's too interested in going back down to the bottom side. So he might be okay with letting that bottom side generator popping. However, you do have to be careful, as that is not a 3-gen. There's actually another generator on the bottom side of the map that, you know, they could hypothetically work on here. Fast is just stealthing for this pull. Knows that he cannot get found or it will be over. Winner Edit going to be popping the generator. And there's another generator at the 4 tile here. It has to be very, very careful not to allow that generator to go for the second hook. Now, you can camp this to second. You can camp this to second. You have a bit of time here before that generator makes significant amount of progress. But you have to, you can't afford to let Freeze get unhooked before second stage here. Fast understands that he probably can't get the unhook here, and it's just going to be waiting for Freeze to go second before actually getting this unhook. So Jason going to be looking for any stealther. There is nobody around. Great stuff here from Jason, as Jason's now going to be heading over to the bottom side of the map. No, looks like we actually want to camp this to death here, as Winner Edit's now going to be on that generator. No, Jason's heading down. No, Jason's getting on that hook there. Unhook is going to be coming through. Winner Edit now back on the generator. Needs to last as long as possible here. Freeze needs to last as long as possible as well. Fast now. It looks like going to be in chase. Taking a tag from the Deathslinger here. Going to be going into the injured state. A stun happening. Reload happening. I don't know if Fast makes anything. No! Unfortunate stuff. Fast is not able to make anything. And that will mean a down onto Fast here. Pain Resonance hook as well. Jason going for this Pain Resonance is very, very, very smart here. Preventing that generator at the bottom side of the map being popped. A hook, and a hook now will mean that bottom generator does regress slightly. Freeze going to be stealthing for this unhook again here. It looks like just wanting to make sure that we maintain our pressure here. Heading now down to the bottom side of the map. We do know that was being worked, and we do see Freeze 1 HP stealthing. Ooh. This could be very, very bad here for Team Nightowls if that shot lands true, but it does not. A reload from the Deathslinger on Jason's side. Going to be trying to, I guess, maybe pressure these generators as much as possible from the cross here, but maybe we actually are okay with taking Freeze 1 HP. Taking Freeze here will force Winter Edit's hand and going for the unhook, and Winter Edit knows that Winter Edit heading now to the top side of the map here. Freeze, nothing else to do, unfortunately, will just be dying, so has to just go to the corner. Maybe there's some kind of Z-wall? No Z-wall, unfortunately, and that will just mean a death onto Freeze. Now we're just wasting time looping this wall here as much as we possibly can. 360, maybe to confuse Jason a little bit, but not going to happen. As Fast is now going to be heading on to another generator on Winter Edit. Oh, sorry, Freeze now taking yet another hook stage. Winter Edit now going to be wanting to stealth for this pull so Fast can get maybe just a little bit of progress on these topside generators here. I'm wrong. Freeze is actually dead. I did not realize that Freeze is actually dead, so that is going to be 2 survivor protocol here. A pop goes a weasel on the bottom side generator here will mean that Fast is going to need to be very, very careful here. Fast injured party. Winter Edit is going to have to stealth for her life, and is actually doing so quite well in this locker. Fast is stealthing now, knowing that the Deathslinger is coming up towards him, so needs to not get found. Getting found here will mean the end of the game here. Winter Edit now heading back onto this bottom side generator. Fast does get found, unfortunately. Very unfortunate stuff here. Ooh, and it looks like a shot straight from the Deathslinger's belt. Okay, utility belt shot coming through. Not going to land true, though, as that will be a kick onto the top side generator here. Now we're heading back to the bottom side. Eruption applied. Oh, no eruption. There's actually no eruption in this game. Fast is heading back onto that generator. Jason sees it. But as far as Nightowls is concerned, that is a-okay, as we're now heading back to the top side here. Jason's in a bit of a precarious spot here. As long as any of these survivors last, it's going to be good. And you need to go for your injured party, because your injured party is the chase that's not going to last as long as the healthy party. Winter Edit back on that bottom side generator is a decent amount of progress. Dodging that shot. Beautiful stuff from Fast here. Nightowls is not down and out of the count just yet. Fast is going to last in this chase just a little bit longer. No, actually going to be leaving the chase full on, heading back to the bottom side of the map. Winter Edit already pre-stealthing off. Jason now heading back up to the top side. And that could have done it. That bit of a comm error could have actually done it. A shot onto Fast will mean a down. Winter Edit needs to stick this generator. Now the question is, does Winter Edit have the time to pop this generator? I think the answer is no. Winter Edit needs to stick it, though. I don't think there's anything more that Winter Edit can do but hope and pray that this is enough time, but it is not. Winter Edit's going to be stealthing off. And unfortunate stuff here. Winter Edit does get found here. Has to try to outlast this chase here. Not dropping the pallet. Beautiful patience, but unfortunately that would mean a blind onto the survivor. Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, stalling as much time as possible. Letting himself off the hook here. Actually is smart if you have the cigar. I believe it is an add-on. That allows you to do that. Actually, the stun duration isn't as long as the stagger you get from the M1, so beautiful stuff there from Jason. As Winter Edit now going to be heading to the top side of the map, needs to be able to pick up as fast as possible, you might say. Winter Edit going to be taking a tag through the tree. That was a very interesting shot. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but that might be a bit of a spectator bug there, but beautiful stuff here from Jason. That is going to be a 4K with one generator remaining. Again, y'all know the drill, barring any sort of miracle perk that the survivors might have, which is just not allowed here at the end of these campfire against the Deathslinger. That will be a 4K with one generator remaining. Amazing stuff here. Fast going to be crawling, playing for the bleed out here, but I don't think he will be able to stealth this for too long here. Staying by the fire barrel might actually be a smart play, because the sounds of moaning and groaning do get drowned out by the fire, but unfortunately is going to be found by Jason. When we come back, we will have Nightowls Killer versus Team Sinner Survivors. Stay tuned for that. And we are back here at the Entity's campfire here. Winter Edit this time for Team Nightowls playing against Team Sinners. Fedonit, we, Jason, Power, and Zoob here. Gonna be looking for a survivor on the top side of the map here, seeing if we can actually find a very early stealther, and we actually do find a very early stealther here. Knows that we've been found here, so we're just gonna be running away over to the 3 side of the map. Dropping that pallet early on. And having that through the wall will actually mean a tag anyway. So beautiful stuff here from Winter Edit. Fedonit now heading over to the bottom side where the death spot, you have to assume, is meant to be. This is a very dry bottom. Oh my god. You have this and you have Shaq, and then maybe you have something 7, but there is very little here for you to work with. So dropping that pallet early on here, probably a very, very smart play for Fedonit. Looping over back. Okay, no, there's some stuff to use. I was wrong. You have a little bit of stuff to use here, so definitely not something you hate as well. We're seeing a very, very early gen out of the way here. I have to assume that was a double here, breaking the pallet on the bottom side of the map here. Fedonit now heading over to the corner tile as there is nothing else for him to play, just wanting to stall as long as possible, heading to the corner. Z-wall here as well, and that isn't a down tag? Okay. Not a tag there, unfortunately. Z-Wall Gaming, and unfortunately, Fedonit will not be winning the Z-Wall. Winner Edit taking his prize. Agitation. Gonna be absolutely needed here. And you have, I think, a bit of a... Is that a 5-gen top? No, it was a 5-gen top, I think, because they popped the top gen, right? So I believe that was, in fact, a 5-gen top, so... No. Wait. Maybe that was a mid-gen that they popped. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is that they popped there, but that is going to be a kick onto this bottom generator. Eruption coming through as well. Gonna be looking, maybe just watching cross, making sure that no survivor is coming in for the save, and we actually do find the savior here in Wee Jason. Wee Jason now gonna get found taking this tag here. It's gonna mean some pretty bad stuff here for Team Sinners here. Question is, do you actually commit for that? I don't think you do. Winner Edit does actually see the rotation of Zoob. Zoob now going to be coming in for the trade, and is actually going to be reloading the Deathslinger. So, what could happen here is that Zoob could eat the chains here. But actually, no. It looks like Fedonit is, Fedonit is just going to be going down here, it looks like. Going to the corner, nothing else, unfortunately, to play. Wee Jason and Zoob, both people weren't doing anything but stealthing for this pull. And there's the, I think we heard Zoob here actually scream on that bottom side generator. So the only person on a gen is Power. You have to assume, yep, there it is. So Power pops that generator over on the top side of the map. Winter Edit, or Power now going to be healing Wee Jason. Zoob needs to be very, very careful not to get found here. Heading over to the generator. That was just erupted. Waiting out Eruption, doesn't want to kick immediately, but it's going to kick now. Controlling this 3-gen at the bottom side of the map is going to be very, very useful for Winter Edit. Actually having it is going to mean the Tycon is actually more and more likely, as we're stealthing for, maybe we can find a savior here. Doesn't find anyone just yet. Checking the locker, doesn't find anybody. Stealthing in locker isn't always a terrible play if you're the survivor side. And we are seeing a double out from Wee Jason and Power, so... actually, this double out could mean some good stuff here. Zoob's job is to not get found whatsoever. But Zoob is actually doing a generator now at the bottom side. Power choosing actually to go for the unhook, which is actually probably the smart play. Making a little bit of, having that kind of pressure is going to be very, very good here. As Zoob does get found on the rotation here. A very good tag onto Power, and that will mean an unhook onto Fedonit, it looks like. Reloading. We want to try to get another shot here on to Fedonit. Can it land true? Is the question. It does land true. And that will... No, not quite going to be the tunnel out. But it's going to mean a reload, and that is going to mean that Fedonit is going to last a little bit longer. So beautiful stuff here from Zoob, as Wee Jason is here for the protection as well. Is not quite able to help. FTP coming through down from Wee Jason. A little bit of pressure here from the survivor side here, and that will also mean the tag onto Fedonit. And Now, Ferdinand is going to be going down. Beautiful stuff. Ferdinand Atamala with another slug and 2 other injured parties is actually huge for Team Winter Edit, or for Team Winter Edit, no, for Team Nightowls here, as they don't really have any prog to speak of now because of it. Winter Edit is in a very, very strong position. All we need now is to try our best to get these downs as quickly as possible here, making sure that the survivors are not able to get any sort of progress for these chases. Power needs to win the Z-wall, and it doesn't look like he's going to, unfortunately, looping the wrong... Oh, we got spun. Okay, that's not amazing, but it's okay, and that will also... Wow. Okay, so, okay, finally we're seeing a down onto Pala here, as a reset onto Wee Jason and Zoob is going to be coming through, and a Pain Resonance to suit. Now, I don't think that Pain Resonance actually progressed anything super amazingly. I mean, Zoob is going to be going now for this generator, and Wee Jason's going to be stealthing for this unhook here, so Medetta does still need to be careful. Sinners is not out of this game just yet, because they still have that generator on the top side of the map. That is being progressed here. We're just watching cross. So we're fine. This is literally the position that Winter Edit's in right now is literally, I don't think there's a possible way for Zoob to cross without getting seen right now. So this is literally a perfect position. If that topside generator pops, you wouldn't like it, but it's not the end of the world, because it just means that Tycon has been met, so that you can, play for the Tycon. So I think that's what Winter Edit is wanting to do here, as that main generator is now being progressed, highly progressed even. Wee Jason still stealthing for this unhook here, but there's no way for Wee Jason to possibly cross here without that generator popping. Or without being found here. So that is very, very good here. And I think Wee Jason knows it. I don't think Wee Jason wants to fully cross here. Winter Edit just wants to watch this cross and wants to see what is happening here. This is actually a scary position. Wow. I mean, this is incredible camera placement from Winter Edit. Now we're just literally camping. We're just literally holding this cross. We don't care about that main generator popping. We were playing for Tycon anyway. Now the double save has to come through. There is no choice. We do see Wee Jason over there. We're not moving our camera. And we do see Zoob over there too. There's Wee Jason. Wee Jason's going to be taking the tag here. And as soon as we take the tag, we're going to be going for Zoob. We're heading back to the unhook here. No, it looks like we might be going for Wee Jason. No, we're heading to the cross here because we know Zoob was going for the unhook. Zoob will unfortunately make it. All we have to do, get a really well-placed shot onto Power. And that is exactly what Winter Edit wants to play for here. Zoob going to be trying to help Power best as possible, taking a tag. Power not going to be making anything of significance, but unfortunately the shot doesn't come through. This is a very, very precarious position for Winter Edit, but still very, very, very precarious. Even more so for Sinners, because we have 3 injuries, 1 in the mending state. This pallet now being dropped here. Wee Jason heading over to the shack side needs to be careful not to get down too quickly. We can no longer go for Power. Winter Edit might be okay with that if this chase doesn't last. Unfortunately, a shot does not come through. Reloading, making sure Zoob is not on this generator. No one's on this generator. That generator is very, very unsafe. We're seeing the resets coming through, and unfortunately Zoob does get reset. This will unfortunately not be a down, but having said that, oh, a very good try from Winter Edit to get that shot and finish the chase, but Zoob will make it out. Mending state and Power is still in need of a reset. Wee Jason over on this generator now. We're going to be probably kicking it for eruption? No, we're not. We know Wee Jason is here. And we're just going to be holding W, trying to loop it as best as we possibly can. Wee Jason needs to be very, very careful here. Won't be happening. And that is a down onto Wee Jason. The question is, do you actually slug this? No, it looks like we're actually going to be picking this. Probably the smart play. We don't know where Power and Zoob are. And by this time, yeah, the resets would have come through. Slugging would have not been the play. So beautiful stuff here from Wee Jason, as Wee Jason is, or from Winter Edit, as Wee Jason's now going to be taken to the basement here. Beautiful stuff from Winter Edit. Now you actually, if you're Winter Edit, you're in a great position, right? You have a down the bottom side of the map, in the basement at that. Gonna be very difficult to get him out of there. Zoob is over there. We know where all 2 other survivors are, so all we have to do is hold these crosses. All we have to do is look and see what they're doing. They cannot cross to the basement if we know what we're doing, and they cannot finish these generators if we're smart. So we're gonna be... Oh, Zoob was trying to pressure this gen, but Winter Edit was smart to it. We might see an unhook from Powa onto Wee Jason here. Powa gonna be making it into the basement and unhook onto Wee Jason as Second Wind gonna be coming through a tag onto Powa. Now what you need here is a very clean shot to land true. Can you actually make it happen here? Going for Powa, as a down onto Powa will happen. Wee Jason probably went for the pickup onto Zoob here. So you have to assume that that pressuring of the generator was done on purpose. Wee Jason now going to be reset. And that hook going to be coming through onto Powa. It's a 2-survivor protocol with 1 generator remaining. It is going to be very, very hard for the survivors of Sinners to pop another generator. That will mean that the tie condition will have been met. Let's see how it happens here. Kicking the logs generator, applying eruption, making sure that we're keeping these generators in control here. This generator no proc to speak on. We do actually see scratch marks heading over back to the 8 generator here. And there is Zoob, a shot coming through. Eruption being applied. Where is Wee Jason? A question that we can answer for ourselves over at the main building. However, Winter Edit does not know this. Gonna be hooking in the basement here. There's no way Wee Jason could possibly unhook this, right? All the generators on the top side of the map have been completed. All you have to do is just camp that hill, scout those generators from there, and there's nothing Wee Jason can do for that pickup. The hatch is even fair game too. So now Winter Edit is actually going to be looking around, seeing if we can find Wee Jason. It looks like we're actually okay with allowing the unhook to happen. We might be okay with the amount of pressure that we actually have, in knowing that, you know, there's nothing that really when Wee Jason could do even, or the team could do even if they did unhook. Checking the main building here, Wee Jason needs to stealth for his life. Can't afford to run just yet. And there is Winter Edit. Winter Edit skulking in the darkness over at the one side of the map here, heading down to the middle. Zoob will go second here. And I don't think Wee Jason... No, Wee Jason's not interested in the rotation. Wee Jason might be playing for the gates. Now, the thing is, they probably identified their gate positioning. Yeah, the gates are at the top side of the map here. So they identified their gate positioning early on. Wee Jason's going to be playing for the gates here. Wee Jason getting out of the game here will mean that Sinners does take the first set. So Winter Edit is not out of the woods just yet here, and needs to be very cautious. And I think Winter Edit knows this. That's why he's not playing too hard for the camp and the hatch, just because, you know, we don't want this unhook to, you know, the unhook wouldn't be great, but what would be even worse is Wee Jason immediately getting on the gates and just, you know, getting out. So Wee Jason now going for the gate here. Has to wait for the hatch to close first. Now, here's the thing. Does Winter Edit make this even if hatch is closed? Immediately on the gate. I don't know if Winter Edit makes, or yeah, I don't know if Winter Edit makes this. Not on that gate. Heading straight for the other gate. It's sparking. He might be out. He's out! And like that, Sinners has actually taken the set. That is incredible, incredible positioning here from Wee Jason. I mean, what an amazing escape here coming through. There was just nothing that Winter Edit could have done about that gate positioning there. Very, very lucky stuff here for Sinners, but also just very, very well played and playing for that gate escape. Very, very, very good stuff. When we come back, we will see Nightowls on the Nurse. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Entity's Campfire. We are here this time on the Coal Tower. This time Nightowls is fast playing the Nurse versus Team Sinners. Same roster as last time. Jason, Fedinit, Zoob, and Powa. This tag is going to be coming through onto Jason, so a nice tag here from Fast. Will mean a balanced landing play coming through as well onto Jason. Now we're actually seeing BL dead hard. Now this is actually a very interesting combination, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. But Fast is gonna get this down here on this pallet. There's no one here for the save, right? Yeah, no one here for the save. Only a little bit of progress coming in from the survivor side. So the fact that we have that that tag in that area, or that down in that area, is gonna be huge. We're seeing a very different build here. Eruption, Ruin, Deathbound, and Corrupt. Now, Deathbound has gotten a bit of a change recently. Deathbound, whenever you take a hit for a survivor, you know, yeah, it applies the Oblivious status effect, which isn't so great. However, the strength of it comes in the fact that the survivors who took that hit, they will scream and reveal their location. So that is good info. I forget exactly if Deathbound works like that, like the hit taking, or if that's just universal. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see, as we're seeing our second chase here onto Jason over at the shack, and that tag coming through. Was that dead hard? That was not dead hard. So that's very unfortunate. Jason gonna be having no men to speak of here. And Winter Edit are fast losing Jason very briefly here, but we'll actually re-find him. Listening out, making sure that we can find Jason as quickly as possible. We do actually find him. Not safety blinking through that. That could be very, very bad here. Another blink and a stun from Jason. Good stuff here from Team Sinners. And Jason will be going down here. Second hook of the game. 2 generators will be popping for it, however. So amazing progress here from Team Sinners here. Main building going to be popping. Zoob heading over to the 9 side of the map, seeing if we can find any sort of generator to be working on. We actually do find one. I don't know if he saw that Ruin, but I don't know, even if he did, I don't think you really care about getting the Ruin out this stage of the game, just because it will mean that pressure off of, oh, this crow flying is really bad. Powa will get found here. But Powa actually going to be, oh, no, never mind. Powa will be taking a tag here, and Fedinit and Zoob are working their generators very, very diligently, so we might be seeing a double pop for this this death, which is exactly what you need here if you are fast, or if you are if you're Sinners. This death coming through will be everything. Powa going to be healing himself here. Powa still has to be the one to go for this unhook, so this heal will be very, very crucial. We're just scouting out this unhook, making sure that this unhook does not happen for free. Now, here's the thing. If this unhook happens for free, that is going to be very bad for Fast. It will mean that outs are possible, and a tag coming through onto Fedinit will mean a trade on the unhook. But we actually are swinging past him because we want to hit Jason to prevent dead hard. I think we might have realized that Jason is the dead hard player because of the balanced landing, so maybe it's not as interesting or uncommon as I was thinking. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it's actually quite common. So that was very good game sense here coming in from Fast. And there is Deathbound at work. We do see 2 survivors over here. That is Powa and probably Fedinit. As we do see a rotation into the shack. It was actually, yeah, it was Fedinit, so there you go. There is the flashbang coming through. Fedinit now going to be taking an injury. Zoob somewhere on the, no, Zoob is not actually being generated. It's actually Powa on the bottom side of the map here. Fedinit now trying to take it as far away as possible. Fedinit actually playing the 5 side of the map here. But it looks like we'll just be choosing to die corner. Now we're actually choosing to pick this. And you do have to be careful if you are fast, just because that generator on the bottom side is being progressed, right? However, maybe the plan was to, take it down here to make Fast assume. However, Fast is not at all perturbed by that. We do know, in fact, that Power is down here. Now we want to just scout this generator. We actually do have this 3-gen. And I'm realizing now that this 3-gen exists, so that was my bad. I didn't actually see this 3-gen earlier. This is actually a very good position for Fast to have this 3-gen here. Power being found here. Want to play for a tag, maybe? There's a tag onto Power. Fedinit still not being healed, and that's because the double was happening. It's a very good game sense from Fast to realize that that was the case, just because the heal was not coming through. And we are actually seeing Power. We're actually seeing Zoob here. Heading back down to the bottom side, Zoob is wanting to stay around here, play this pallet a little bit. Life coming through. And a tag onto Zoob. Power is still working this bottom generator. Now, this is actually a very unfortunate position. Now that you have all these injuries, however, you don't hate it entirely. Just because, you know, by having all these injuries, it will mean that downs will happen very quickly. Power now going to be down here, but we have to slug. That generator might just be popped if they double it. Yeah, it's going to be popped, unfortunately. Fast just doesn't have the energy to be able to get there fast enough. However, if we play our cards right here, it's very possible 4K0 could be happening as we are forcing Locker. Beautiful stuff here from Zoob, and that will mean that Power gets picked up off of the ground. Zoob going to be taken onto a hook here. Very, very early on. Power and Fedinit both screaming. Or Fedinit just screaming, not Power, I'm sorry. Fedinit heading over to the bottom side. We want to play for this unhook onto Zoob, but Power probably tries to go for a gate. And there is Power. Power now taking it down. Fedinit now needs to go for this unhook. Or go for a gate. There is the unhook. Heading over to the top side of the map here. We can't afford... We don't want to let them be split up too much here. Because if that happens, we'll lose track of them, and then they could get the pickup onto Power. So Fast still has all of it to play for here. A down onto Fedinit. Now we're heading back over to Zoob, maybe? Maybe we're trying to scout for scratch marks there. We actually do see scratch marks there. Not seeing Zoob on that gate, which is very, very good for us. So you have to assume Zoob is going for... Nope. Do we actually see Zoob? I didn't catch that. We might have seen Zoob. We do see Zoob, and that is going to be... No! Fedinit has Unbreakable! Fedinit has Unbreakable, and that will mean Power gets picked up off the ground. And the resets are coming through. We need to get over there as quickly as possible. They're not on this gate. Deathbound coming through. Power screaming, revealing his location. This is a very, very tough endgame for both teams, quite frankly. I mean, it's a war of attrition at this point. And unfortunately, a down won't be happening onto Power. Fatigue coming through, but this down needs to happen like yesterday. And a down will happen onto Power, so good stuff. Zoob, however, is going to be picked up here by Fedinit, and they're just leaving. Fedinit still healthy. Heading over to the slug, wanting to see if he could find any rotation whatsoever. I think we do see scratch marks there. Maybe we don't. Maybe I'm blind. I should be very good at identifying scratch marks since I hate the color red so much. And they're actually working that gate. A little bit of a light there coming through onto that gate here. Team Sinners has circumnavigated this nurse just masterfully. I mean, that gate, that hatch, or that locker play could be everything. Now we have all survivors picked up. Power, the only one injured. This is some very, very good stuff here we're seeing from Team Sinners. And there is Power. Power might be our only hope at getting a high stage here. We're heading over to that gate. Now, we can't allow Power out of this gate. And we will not be allowing power out of this gate. We have to be careful, however. Zoob could be around here. We have to force Zoob out. Or Fenned it out. Where is Zoob? Zoob is here for a flashy save. It's not gonna land true, though. Very good stuff here, as that will mean a fresh hook. And turning this 4-stage game into a 7-stage game. That is still a very respectable Survivor result from Nurse, though. Deliverance coming through! Never mind! I completely forgot about the existence of that perk, and that will mean a 5-stage game from Sinners. Beautiful stuff. A very respectable Nurse result here. That was very masterfully played from Team Sinners. That end game is what DBD Comp is all about, and when we come back, we will see how Team Sinners' Nurse answers it. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Entity's campfire. We, Jason, this time on the nurse, on the cold tower. Fasty, Serenity, Winder, Edit, and Freeze 1 HP. On the survivor side, we, Jason, now going to be just looking around the hill at 9. This is actually a very, very good place to watch for Crosshair, but we're actually not seeing anyone just yet. We're going to be hopping off. Ruin is in a very interesting spot for us here. We are actually seeing someone. We're seeing birds here on the rotation. And there is Fasty. Fasty now taking a tag here. Beautiful start here for Wee Jason, which is very, very good here. This is not good for Team Nightowls, because if you look at our perks here, this is the Deliverance player. We have no Deliverance to speak of for this game. This could be very devastating stuff here for Team Nightowls. However, nothing for it just yet. We'll just have to play for the best result we can. Freeze 1 HP going into the main building, wanting to maybe stealth for stealth to start it here. Fasty getting hooked here on this middle is going to mean a little bit, not going to mean great stuff here, as Winter Edit is now running. Winter Edit now actually just going to be playing for this generator. So we are actually seeing a very standard nurse start here. Not a lot of gen progress to speak of, though, unfortunately. As we are seeing an unhook here onto Fasty. And it's not going to be a tag onto Freeze 1 HP either. Do we actually want to continue? No, we're actually not continuing on to Fasty for some reason. I'm actually very interested to understand why here. Freeze 1 HP. Going to be taking a tag, heading over to the top side of the map here. Going to be taking that down too on the top side of the map. I'm actually very interested to understand why we didn't go for that time lot. Maybe we had some sort of understanding that that was a Deliverance player and we just wanted to get it out of the way. But yeah, very unfortunate stuff there, as we are seeing Freeze 1 HP now going down on this bottom side. This is actually a very good hook position for Wee Jason, as there is Fasty. Fasty was coming in for the unhook, however, Fasty now getting spotted. And a tag will happen onto him too. Freeze 1 HP now being unhooked here. We are continuing chase onto Fasty. Not quite getting it down though. Fasty is just wanting to run as far as we possibly can to the corner. Wanting to use the trees as a line of sight blocker to help make it to where we need to go here. Yeah, and it does look like we're just heading to the corner tiles here. Passing as long as we possibly can. A swing and a hit through this rock. Womina down onto Fasty. Winter Edit now heading over to the middle side as that generator pops Serenity on another generator as well. So that generator will probably pop as well for Fasty's hook here. This is a 6-stage result, by the way, with 3 freshes. So our win condition is 7 stages or 6 stages with 4 freshes. As we are not seeing anyone just yet here. Fasty being on this hook here very early on will unfortunately mean... Oh no, Winter Edit is probably going to get 2 tapped here. Very unfortunate, Winter Edit going down. And this is a very, very, very good position here for Wee Jason. Trying to go through this rock is not able to do so. We actually got confused as to the position of Serenity here. We're still not seeing anyone just yet. And there it is. There is actually Serenity heading over for the top side of the map here. Freeze 1 HP is currently working a generator, and I believe Winter Edit might be unbreakable. No, Winter Edit is not unbreakable, so Freeze now has to go for this pickup. So good stuff here from Freeze 1 HP to actually get this pickup. Now we can continue this generator. It had a decent amount of progress here, as Ruin is now going to be cleansed by Winter Edit. That might be our best bet at getting the best result we possibly can here, and that is going to be 4 stages actually, with a death at 3 generators remaining. So Team Nightowls has it all to do right now, as that unhook, or as that death will cost Ruin. And Merciless Storm coming through will actually mean that we're not able to get that generator done. So now we're heading over for a different generator. Kicking that middle generator as well. Eruption going to be applied here. We just want to be as careful as we possibly can to not get found, and we actually do. And we're not actually getting blinded by blinding the killer here, but however, Winter Edit will be lasting just a little bit longer here. What she might do if your Winter Edit is maybe force base, and that might be what we were trying to do here, but unfortunately not gonna happen, as Freeze 1 HP is now going to be shaking his head no at us. I too would be going no if I were Freeze 1 HP, as this is a very unfortunate position. And Winter Edit will be, oh, not going down here. A good BT hit. However, that will mean if Winter Edit is dead hard, which she is, that no dead hard will be allowed to be you. Wow, okay. That was crazy. That was some crazy stuff there, I'm not gonna lie. Merciless Storm on that 9 generator has completely taken it out. I mean, look how much progress it has now compared to when we initially missed the skill check. I mean, it is some very unfortunate stuff here. We Jason might be interested in leaving. I think we're seeing a bit of a spectator bug here, as Freeze wants to try to get the generator done as best as we possibly can here. This is definitely a spectator bug. I am not sure where the nurse is right now. Nurse is in main. Okay, the nurse is in main building, and Freeze 1 HP going to be continuing this generator here. If we're able to maybe get it done. We are able to just barely get it done, but that will mean that Freeze's life is in jeopardy. No, Freeze actually leaving, seeing Serenity coming in for this unhook here. Serenity now going for the unhook. No, Serenity actually has no choice but to play this tile. Does not want to give a free tag for anything at all. Winter Edit still going to be on this hook. Freeze now has to try to maybe go for this unhook, but it looks like Freeze will simply be dying, or Winter Edit will just simply be dying. I don't know how we can get this unhook. No, it doesn't look like we can, as we probably did see Freeze 1 HP there. No, we didn't. We didn't. There's no possible way to get this unhook, very unfortunately. And I have just realized that that means that the win condition has been met. Very, very well played to Sinners on taking today's matches. And very, very well played from Nightowls from playing the best that they possibly could here. The first game, very, very unlucky gate placements there from team Nightowls there. Just made Sinners, you know, going for that gate escape was much easier, especially considering the Deathslinger is a 110 killer. So very unlucky stuff there. And just unfortunately, the Deliverance getting found first in this game was very unfortunate too. As there will be a tag onto Serenity. Freeze now back on the generator. Serenity needs to have the best chase he possibly can here. It's all possible. It's possible, but not. It's improbable, but not impossible. That's what I'm trying to say. Serenity now heading to the top side of the map here. 1 blink and then 2 blinks is all we need here, but it's not going to be happening here for we Jason. As we're continuing chase onto Serenity. Remember, we're just playing for a bit of style points here. As that, ooh, that stun is going to be happening onto we Jason. And we are now continuing chase onto him. This gen dangerously close to popping, as we're not able to quite get it down here. But bumping into that locker will mean a lack of distance here. And that will be a down onto Serenity. Freeze getting erupted, unfortunately. Seeing the aura of Freeze on that generator, and we're sticking it. We might be scared of it popping here. But as we know, it's not enough, and there goes Freeze running away, and that is a 4K with 1 generator remaining. Very well played to Team Sinners. Very, very well played to Team Nightowls. Good job to both teams here. Free's actually circumnavigating Wee Jason a little bit there. Swinging through, not gonna land true, and there's another swing through. And that is confirming the 4K with one generator remaining. No deliverance to speak of, unfortunately. Unbreakable, not in the game anymore. A very strong start from Wee Jason. All we need to do now is find Serenity, and that will confirm the 4K1. And Serenity is actually stealthing in the corner of the map here. The question is, does Wee Jason know this? Wee Jason might not find. Wee Jason doesn't actually find. So we're playing for a bleed out here now. A bleed out will not matter. It will still be a victory for Team Sinners. However, it will be respectable if we are able to completely stealth out the slug. We're going to close the hatch to reduce any chance of Serenity escaping, but Serenity is still stealthing. Again, if Serenity can stealth this out, this would still be very respectable here. But it might be that we are... No, we are still looking. Wee Jason might choose here to not really do anything more. Yeah, no, it looks like... Oh, we actually do see blood here, so there is Serenity. That confirms the 4K with one generator remaining. We're trying to go for a Mori here. I just realized that the fact that Nurse can actually flip over the survivors, like, that kind of implies that her telepathic powers go beyond that. She's actually a lot stronger than we give her credit for, but, thank you everyone for coming. When we come back later on today, it'll be Rift versus Oracle. Stay tuned for that, and thank you for coming.
Mar, you're gonna make me tweak.